Welcome back to Retirement News Online. Now, this idea of retirement is actually a relatively new concept. It really began in 1935 with the onset of Social Security and the fact that people started living longer. Before that, people worked really up until the day they died in many cases, and if for some reason they weren't able to, they actually moved in with family and were supported by them. But this concept of retirement today means different things to different people. My guest, Jim Jones in Jeffersonville, Indiana. So again, Jim, thank you for talking with us. This idea of retirement really does depend on the individual, doesn't it?
Well, Scott, it really does. Different people have different ideas about retirement. I think some people fear retirement. And my wife has been telling me for years, Jim, you can't fish every day after retirement. So retirement really is leaving one activity and finding other activities that you're interested in, that you want to spend time with, that you didn't have time before while working a job or working a career. And so when people retire, they really need to find that thing that keeps them active, that keeps them engaged, that keeps them interested, so that they're not just sitting around watching TV. We've all heard the stories of the guy who retired at 62. He watched TV 40 hours a week and died 3 weeks later. I think we need to look at retirement as a change of activity.
So one of the biggest considerations in retirement is actually when to retire. How do you determine that?
A great question, Scott. You know, it really works out to a four-letter word. Once we have the answer to that four-letter word, retirement can become less intimidating. There's a lot of different pieces. We've been saving for, hopefully, for 20, 30, 40 years or more. Some people haven't, and that's where we take this four-letter word. I call it math, M-A-T-H, and let's make sure the math works in your favor to give you that comfort, to give you a level. And using those numbers, we can determine how much of your lifestyle can you meet without adding additional income. Some people will wind up working, some people will wind up traveling, but it all boils down to a four-letter word, M-A-T-H.
So it seems like Social Security is going to be a major part of many people's retirement income plan. How do you know when to start claiming benefits?
You know, Scott, claiming Social Security is something that everybody really needs to take a close look at. You can take Social Security, as we know, as early as age 62, but it's almost, you're discounting what the Social Security program can do for you the earlier you take it. Now, if you retire at 62 and you absolutely have to have the money, you absolutely have no choice. But if you know your choices, if you know what the rules are, then you can plan to have a larger Social Security payment just by delaying several years. So if you don't need it, don't take it. You take it when you need it, and you can also tie in spousal benefits to that. And another thing to think about is your longevity, how long you expect to live, how long your parents lived, how long is your life expectancy. So by taking all these factors into consideration, we can help you look at the best optimal time to take Social Security.
And finally, with retirement spans lasting now 20 to 30 years or more, the important thing is to make sure that money lasts. How do you plan for that?
Well, as we look at a person's portfolio, there's very few people that have all of their assets optimized for the best use. And this is where, using a professional, you can do a deep dive and find strategies, because there are strategies out there that can create a stream of income for as long as you live to supplement Social Security. There's other ideas and companies out there that provide an income that we can count on that is not necessarily tied to the stock market. And many people don't understand all the different variables and all the different options that actually exist today.
Great, Jim. Thank you again for sharing your time with us today.
Thank you, Scott.
My guest has been Jim Jones. He practices in Jeffersonville, Indiana, and thank you for watching Retirement News Online.